Every plot has a beginning, rising actions, a middle where the climax happen, falling actions which lead to the resolution. Let's look at this diagram together. The musicians of Bremen. There once was a donkey living near the town of Bremen, who was getting too old to work. He knew his master would soon stop feeding him, so he decided to join the musicians who lived in Bremen. On his way he met a dog, who was getting too old to hunt. And his master was going to kill him. The donkey asked the dog to go with him. The two new friends then met a cat, who had overheard her master saying that he was going to drown her. And a cock whose mistress was about to use him for soup. "Join us," said the donkey, and off they all trooped to Bremen. What happens in the beginning of the story? What about the rising actions? Did we reach the climax yet? That night the animals rested in a forest. From a high branch the cock spotted a cottage in the distance and led his friends there in search of food. Through the window they saw a band of robbers sitting at a table which was covered with things to eat. The animals climbed on top of each other, started singing and tumbled in through the window. The robbers were so frightened they ran away. The animals ate their fill, turned out the lights and went to sleep. Now who can tell me what can we call these events? Did we reach the climax yet? The robbers hid in the forest. When the light went out the bravest one returned to the house and crept inside. He saw two sparks glowing in the fireplace, and blew on them to make some light. Out jumped the cat, spitting and scratching. The robber stumbled backwards onto the dog's paw. The dog bit his leg. The robber ran out screaming. In the yard the donkey kicked him and the cock crowed in a piercing tone. The robber ran back to his gang. He was terrified. "A witch lives and that house, she scratched me, then a monster bit me on the legs. And another creature screamed at me," he cried. On hearing this the robbers fled. The animals continue to live happily in their new home. Now who can remind me of the falling actions? Do you remember what's the meaning of falling actions? Falling actions are the actions which lead to the resolution or the ending of the story. And what about the resolution of the story? What happened at the end? The animals lived happily ever after in their new home.
Created using Powtoon.